Hi, VencoreWeather.com. Meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, January 20th. Continues to look like a major storm for the Mid-Atlantic region at the end of the week. The timing has shifted, perhaps a little bit later arrival time, perhaps snow arriving in the D.C. metro region midday to early afternoon hours on Friday, late afternoon, early evening in Philly, and during the evening in New York City. This storm has the potential certainly to dump 1 to 2 feet of snow on the I-95 corridor in places like D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, even New York City. The 0Z GFS total forecast for snowfall accumulation shown right here has even some areas just to the west of D.C. with 30 plus inches of snow. Here's the very latest from last night's 0Z model run of the GFS, which has had a pretty good handle on this system. Unbelievable amounts here from D.C. West towards the West Virginia border area. This continues to be the bullseye, but even here near Philadelphia, 22, 23 inches, near New York City, 21, 22 inches or so. Just an incredible look to the snowfall forecast map by the GFS model. Now, yesterday afternoon, the European model all of a sudden kind of had a southern spasm. It shunted the heaviest snowfall accumulation zone southward, along with the storm track to the south. We mentioned that is typical 3 to 4 days out, and then it could come back to the north and west. Indeed, the Euro model corrected overnight, shifting things back to the north and west, and now has a pretty much a major snowstorm for the I-95 corridor region, including Philadelphia, all the way down to D.C. and all the way up to New York City. Well, that last map, by the way, was from WeatherBell. This particular map shows the wind gusts late Saturday, as predicted by last night's 0Z GFS model run. This map was available on instantweathermaps.com. Some incredible high wind gust values here depicted by the 0Z GFS model. Excuse me, some of these purple areas here just off the Jersey coastline are unbelievable, almost hurricane force wind gusts, potentially late in the day Saturday. All the way back inland, you could see potentially up to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. So it's certainly something to be concerned with in terms of beach erosion, coastal flooding along, let's say, the coast of New Jersey and Delaware, and of course some blowing and drifting associated with these strong wind gusts could occur over the weekend period, especially in the day Saturday into Saturday night. Now let's take a look at the GFS model in terms of first the upper air and then the surface. Well, let's start off by looking at the 500 millibar pattern. This is actually the current look at the 500 millibar pattern, and this is the all-important wave that will dive to the south and help set off a major storm by Friday in the Tennessee Valley that then shifts to the Mid-Atlantic coastline. This is a key player. It moved onshore from the Pacific Ocean over the western part of the U.S. in the overnight hours, and the computer forecast model certainly should have a better handle of things now that this upper level feature, the all-important upper level feature, is now over land. There's just simply better data sampling when that is the case, when it's over land. In fact, National Weather Service is planning to send out and produce some extra radius-on data to feed into the computer forecast model, so that too will add to the confidence in the computer forecast models as we progress through today and tomorrow. But this is such a big storm coming that the National Weather Service is actually sending out some extra equipment to produce some radius-on data, vertical profile data to feed into the computer forecast model. So the main wave now onshore will dive to the south. And now let's jump ahead to later in the week. And here's the forecast map from last night's 0Z GFS model run. And again, the GFS has had a pretty good handle on the situation. This is 500 millibars for Friday evening. Just a very impressive looking trough here. Notice here the central is kind of cut off. This is an important feature here, and you'll see in 24 hours later, Saturday evening, it's still just a vigorous upper level low that's cut off. And what a cut off low does is it slows down the movement of the surface system. Hence, we are expecting a long-lasting storm. It looks like primarily Friday night through Saturday night. Even some signs that it could linger into Sunday morning, and we'll look at the surface map for Sunday morning in a moment. But a very vigorous upper level low, a slow moving upper level low, and lots of high pressure to the north all spells trouble for the Friday night, Saturday night time period, perhaps even into Sunday morning. And here's the forecast map in the upper levels of 500 millibar for Saturday evening. Again, a very powerful upper level low sitting right on top of the mid-Atlantic region, a closed low here. All this spells slow movement to the surface low pressure area, which at this time would be sitting right off the mid-Atlantic coast and not moving quickly. Hence a long-lasting event here into Sunday morning perhaps. Well, let's now walk through the surface forecast maps. Again, from last night's 0Z GFS model run. This is for Friday morning. There was a tendency, certainly in the overnight model runs, to slow things down a bit. This is Friday morning, and it now appears as if snow may not occur early Friday morning, but perhaps wait until midday to early afternoon in D.C., late afternoon in Philly. By this time Friday morning, low pressure, pretty strong low pressure already here over the Tennessee Valley. Let's now jump ahead another 12 hours. Here's the forecast map for Friday evening. By this time, snow has moved into the D.C. metro region, probably right on the doorstep, if not in southeastern Pennsylvania at this time. Notice here, high pressure to the north and west. We talked about this yesterday, a crucial player here that not only provides cold air, but helps to keep it sustained. And let's now jump ahead another 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for Saturday morning. A strong storm system here depicted by last night's GFS model sitting right at the Carolina-Virginia border area. Notice a long fetch of air coming in off the ocean here that does a couple of things. First of all, provides a lot of moisture. And when that moves over the colder air in inland locations, it'll be produce some heavy snowfall on Saturday, along with some strong winds. We saw up front in this video the potential for wind gusts near hurricane force in coastal locations later Saturday in this time frame, and perhaps a little bit later in the day. The combination of the strong high pressure to the north and the very strong and intensifying low pressure to the south produces this very tight pressure gradient. Let's now jump out another 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for Saturday evening. And first of all, given that east to northeast flow could push in enough warmer air off the ocean, which is still relatively warm temperatures off of the ocean in the 40s. There could certainly be some rain or sleet at times, especially south and east of the I-95 corridor, perhaps even into the I-95 corridor. Certainly southern New Jersey, coastal sections of New Jersey down across the Delmarva Peninsula, there will be some rain and or sleet. But even in those areas, the cold air will kind of collapse back towards the coast once this low moves a little bit farther to the east and northeast late Saturday night. So any area that is experiencing rain or sleet early Saturday will change back to snow, and could involve a snow to rain to snow scenario in parts of southern New Jersey, for example, or the Delmarva Peninsula. North and west of the I-95 corridor looks basically primarily a snow event. And again, there can be some mixing of rain or sleet in the immediate I-95 corridor. That's still one of the details to be ironed out over the next 48 hours or so. Notice the conveyor belt here, setting up here. That's a classic signature on the west to northwest side of low pressure. Classic signature for snow in the Mid-Atlantic region. Finally, this is the forecast map for Sunday morning. Still, perhaps snowing at this time or just about ending at this time in the D.C., Philly, New York City, certainly still up in the New England area. A long-lasting, high-impact event is in the offing right here. There will be some blowing and drifting, beach erosion, coastal flooding. Full moon adds to the potential concern for later Saturday night, as winds could gust to 50 miles per hour in inland areas, 70 miles per hour at the coast. Perhaps even some thunder, snow, and lightning associated with this very dynamic system. Stay tuned to VencoreWeather.com for updates. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.